Hello everyone, my name is the Phawx. This is going to be my quick look and unboxing of Anbernic's latest device, the RG351p. Thank you very much to Anbernic for sending this device out to me for review. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have had this device as early as I have. Special shout out to Wildly from VClan or Venture Electronics. He's been a great presence, and especially with getting me in contact with Anbernic, as well as just being a great voice for this handheld scene. Speaking of that, in the description field below, there's going to be 3 links. They are all to Anbernic's official social media pages, especially Anbernic's official Discord server. So if you have any feedback or you want to talk directly to Anbernic, you're going to want to click on that Discord link below, and that'll get you right over there. And more than likely, you're going to meet Wildly there. So having said that, let's get right into the meat of the quick look, not review, not review, just the quick look. So it is using the Rockchip 3326 quad-core ARM chip that has been present in a lot of different handhelds as of late. Obviously, this is with the flair of Anbernic style. There is a 3.5-inch 320 by 480 IPS. It says OCA there. That's the OCA silicon bonding for the all-fit screen. It's a one-glass solution for adhesing the LCD to the glass so that there is no gap and no air and no other stuff. And it just makes it makes it much nicer. The battery is 3500 milliamp hour, and it says lasts for 8 hours. We'll conduct tests and see if that actually is accurate within the review itself. This particular unit has built-in Wi-Fi. They are selling units that do not have Wi-Fi. The ones without Wi-Fi are about $12 cheaper, so do look on the price. This particular device is around $110 at max. Technically, you can find it for a little bit less from a few different retailers. So if you're seeing anything for $98, make sure that it is Wi-Fi. Otherwise, it might just be the highest price for the non-Wi-Fi model. You might be able to find a cheaper price for the non-Wi-Fi model. And then it says it supports TF cards, micro SD cards up to 256 gigs. Very quickly, we're going to take a look at just this quick little diagram that they show. And obviously, we're going to see the Anbernic styling L3, R3 clickable analog sticks. And now the one big thing of these Rockchip 3326 devices that's pretty big is this volume potentiometer or volume control. It's just a far more intuitive interface for these types of handheld devices instead of using hotkeys, especially when the hotkeys isn't directly mapped or labeled on the device itself. This is a very easy way to just know that volume goes down, volume goes up. And it's just quick and easy. So by far, this is probably one of the small details that matters a lot to me. And then overall, there's just the overall build quality that Anbernic is getting known for. That started with their RG350 and slowly built up to that. So they've been paying forward some design considerations, and we'll touch base on those. The model that Anbernic has sent me is the purple model, and this is pretty much an homage to the original Game Boy Advance color stylings. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start this unboxing. The unboxing is going to be a pretty straightforward affair. There isn't a whole bunch in here, and we're going to touch base on that as well. They have this little plastic sleeve and then this nice foam insert that covers the device itself over the button so that it arrives to you nice. Inside the box, you're going to find a USB-C cable as well as a little instruction booklet. Pretty straightforward. We'll go ahead and bundle this up and put it away now. Alrighty. Let's start taking a look at this device proper. So very quickly, this is something that I want to point out because it seems like a little detail, but it's actually pretty critical to me. So it is a little divot that's around the power button, and it's just this little detail that when you're feeling around for it, it does add a nice touch. And this is kind of the emphasis around Anbernic's kind of new design styling and build quality, attention to detail that they've been putting forth for everything that they've been doing, and it's a lot more present. It started to be present in their original 350, and then the 350M, you can see a lot of design considerations like these low profile analog sticks, which are considerably better for, especially when you start putting it into your pocket. This is a far better design for going into your pocket, but you still have the analog clicky so that it works. You do have stereo firing speakers, and then there's obviously the micro SD slot. There's a reset switch if the OS gets hung up, so you can quickly turn that off. And then there's just the very easy potentiometer for volume control. Down makes the volume go down, up makes the volume go up. Super simple, intuitive, no fuss, no muss, set it and forget it. Now, these rubber grips are something that were not present on the RG350 originally, and they started making a presence in the newer models. I'm glad they carried it forward the 351. It is a nice little touch. It does actually help a little, especially when it's on a table. It makes it so that it doesn't actually just slide around easily, and that's actually the main goal. It's not so much that it's a grip for your hands. It does operate in such a way, but not that big of a deal. It's more of just making sure that it doesn't slip and slide on a table, which when you have a little device like this, you really don't want to just flopping around and scratching up the screen. So it's just little design considerations like that that I'm a big fan of. You're going to see the writing say 5 volt, 6.5 watt, and then the adapter input, which is 5 volt, and it says, equal to or greater than 1.3 amp. These two numbers are basically the exact same thing. So 5 times 1.3 is going to give you 6.5 watt. So basically what that's telling you is that the very oldest USB chargers were 5 volt 1 amp. Those might not work with this particular model. You're going to need a 5 volt 2 amp capable charger at a minimum to charge the device, and that's pretty easy. I mean, most things from like 2012 onward were 2 amp 5 volt. So 8 years worth of chargers will be able to charge this device through USB-A to USB-C. Then you have that 3500 milliamp hour battery, which again, we'll do a full test on in terms of battery life when that comes out. But overall, I just wanted to kind of show you the overall stylings of it. Now, there are some things that I want to say. There is going to be a little bit of feathering with regard to some of the detail. There is a low pass filter that I have on my camera so that I can minimize moire effect from LCDs when the screen is on, just to kind of minimize that. So if there's some details that seem a little feathered or soft, it's because of that reason. But I'm just trying to do it so that overall the effect, especially when gameplay is going, that it's noticeable. The other thing that I like about this is just the Torx bit security bit screw sets in there. It's just a nice little thing. They could have very easily just put in a Phillips head, but putting Torx does really, it's just something small to me, but I do feel like it just makes it a little bit more of like an official feeling device. Then you also have your 3.5mm audio jack and your you have your DC charging, and then this is a on-the-go USB-C port. Now, how these devices, these Rockchip 3326 devices have worked in the past is that you could connect USB to Wi-Fi or USB anything to it really, USB to get a network connection through your computer. That's not really necessary on this particular model because I do have Wi-Fi. It would be something that you could use on a non-Wi-Fi model. Alternatively, you can just take out the SD card and put ROMs in, provided that you have a Linux operating system or something that can handle ext4 file systems. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just power this device on. It really does feel so nice to just push that power button. That's one thing that I think that Anbernic really has down, is just the overall feel of the device. There's going to be one thing that we're going to touch base on here, and that's with regard to there have been some people that have reported D-pad issues, and I will show you what that is. It's a little bit further than D-pad issues. It's basically D-pad and face buttons, not the analog sticks. The analog sticks are absent from that. These aren't affected at all to any type of input problems. So basically, if you were trying to do a fireball, you'll have a better time, at least in this early model. I want to point out again, there are no models past this date. Whenever the date of this, is September 23rd. I'm going to post this video on September 23rd. There are no units that are sold past 23rd that have a problem. Every unit that you're buying past September 23rd is fine. So we're going to run this. Now I'm going to show this off to you really quick just so that it becomes apparent what is going on. And basically what the deal is some games, like, how you can double tap to dash, when you input any two consecutive button presses fast, you will have missed button presses. That is now fixed in the latest version. All right, so you can see I'm moving around, kind of firing. But now if I put the device down and they're just rapidly, you can see that there are missed button presses. So one video that they showed me off that this is fixed is a game where you can double dash, and that has been fixed. So it's just kind of what you can see really quick, as well as in Street Fighter. But I will show a before and after just so that it's very apparent. So let's go ahead and see how this compares. Anywho, they have that working and fixed. So the only thing that I'm waiting on currently is the fix for me, the firmware flasher, so that I can fix my buttons. So until I get that, I will just be kind of showing you guys what the threshold of this device is. So we're going to go over and take a look at Dreamcast Emulation, which is going to be on the top end of emulators that are going to be running on this device. And again, we're kind of just cycling through all the different emulators that are available by default within the device, and that's what you should expect when you get the device. And then there's obviously PlayStation Portable games, and there's quite a few that aren't going to be super playable. Just kind of demonstrating this so you can get an idea of what to expect. Now again, on my full review, I'll have frame rate counters going for every game, as well as descriptions for every game that's being played, and a more thorough understanding of of what's going on. But you can see that, you know, frame rate isn't super awesome. I mean, you could already see it just looking at just the BIOS screen of the Game Boy Advance, of how really nice it looks because of the pixel density, the pixel arrangement. Now again, I'm recording off of my camera here, so there is some quality loss. It looks significantly better in person. But you can see with regard to like how fonts look, it really is amazing for Game Boy Advance. And almost every Game Boy, I seriously doubt there'll be any Game Boy Advance outside of emulation problems that are going to give you any slowness. The chipset is going to be more than capable for it. But just look at it. Oh my goodness. So clean. Let me get that stylus out of the way. So that's pretty much the end of my quick look and unboxing of the Anbernic RG351p. I'm pretty excited to see where software development goes in this, like all the custom firmware that's going to be coming out, especially some other things that are down the pipeline. It also has Rumble included, so perhaps there are some specific games, not any game, like there might be some N64 games or pretty much only N64 games that will have Rumble, but just more native based games that might use Rumble. It's a pretty interesting feature, and I would like to see it be explored a little bit more. But outside of that, there are some interesting things that I know are coming down the pipeline, and I'm excited to see that kind of happen as this scene unfolds for the RG351. As always, guys, thank you for your time, and thanks for watching.